Okay, welcome back, family. Hi, YouTube people.
Oh, I'm
Hi,
trying to find
sis.
the train. Hi. Hi, how are you?
We're great.
Are we?
We're all
Oh,
great.
well,
Yeah,
okay, so today's lesson, we really are great. Did you know that we're all great all the time?
and perfect. Mm-hmm.
And we're perfect.
Yeah.
And yeah, yeah. And we're completely taken care of all
Mm.
the time, right? It's true. It's only when we uh, fall for the temptation to believe that we are the ego, we are the body, that we can, you know, like fall off the rails, so to speak, and feel as if we're not in alignment.
Yeah.
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 But when we remember that God has never changed his knowing of what we are, his knowledge of what we are. When we remember that, we are his most beloved child. We are the Christ.
Mm-hmm.
We remember too that we're nothing other than that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very intellectual, isn't it? At
Well,
first.
yeah. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. They're words, and we pray to have the felt state.
Experience,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
felt state. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. So lesson 285 is my holiness shines bright and clear today. My holiness shines bright and clear today. Just to clarify, Jesus explained to me, and I know I've said this before and I need to repeat it, is my holiness really is my awareness of my changeless innocence, my awareness and my acceptance of my changeless innocence. As I breathe into that, as I let that breathe me, I can release all tension, all I can release all temptation to believe that I'm not holy, right? So my holiness shines bright and clear today. Today I wake with joy. I'm going to say that again. Are you laughing, sis?
I am. Go ahead.
Today I wake with joy, expecting but the happy things of God to come to me. I ask but them to come. I'd like to say, I ask only them to come and realize my invitation will be answered by the thoughts to which they, the happy things of God, have been sent by me.
Mm.
In other words, by the holy self, by our holy self. Would you interpret that as that too, sis?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I will ask for only joyous things the instant, and this is the condition, obviously, the
Mm-hmm.
instant I accept my holiness. That's the instant that I accept my changeless innocence.
Yeah.
So we actually accept and receive our innocence as the peace of God. Because when we accept our changeless innocence, not just intellectually, but experientially, the result of that has to be the peace of God. It can't be anything else, right? And it's in the peace of God that all guidance from Him comes. I'll keep reading. For what would be the use of pain to me? What purpose would my suffering fulfill? And how would grief and loss avail me if insanity departs from me today and I accept my holiness instead? Great question. Why would I need grief? Why would I need pain? Why would I need conflict?
Mm-hmm.
Why would I need to feel unworthy? Right? These are all defenses against the Christ I am.
Mm-hmm.
Second paragraph. Father, my holiness is yours. Let me rejoice in it, and through forgiveness be restored to sanity. Your Son is still as you created him. My holiness is part of me and also part of you. And what can alter holiness itself? Nothing.
Nothing at all.
Absolutely nothing. So, sis, there's a footnote there.
Yeah.
On the COA edition of the course. Can you share that with us?
Sure. So it's footnote 97 here, and it says, the sequence here seems to be that when I accept my holiness, I will ask for only the happy things of God to come to me. And then I will wake in the morning expecting a day filled with only them. By implication, then, when I awaken expecting a day filled with unhappy things, it is because I have asked for them to come to me as punishment for my unholiness. And so that's that pointer back to we're always deciding what we are and then looking outward based on that first determination. So if we accept our holiness, that gives rise to the expectation of the good that God has for us. And yet if we look within and find sin, a separated mortal, and feel the guilt, then we're going to be calling to us images to confirm that self-identification. Yeah.
Yeah. It's very logical, isn't it?
It is. Yeah.
Yeah.
First within, then without.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful. All right. So my holiness shines bright and clear today. And I think that I would add here is, like you said, sis, is we need to look within first before we look outside of us externally. Because whatever we perceive externally is going to be how we see ourselves,
Yeah.
right? It has to be.
Yes.
There's no external.
Right. Yep.
So it's really important every day to check in, to ask, what am I expecting? And if it's coming, if there's an expectation of conflict or anxiety or whatever it is, then it must be coming from the origin of thought, which is the wrong identity. Not the wrong identity, but the illusory identity, which is the ego or mythical me. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
If it's coming from, if we expect the happy things of God, then that is coming from an identity that is sinless.
Right.
That's coming from our holy self. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really what we're experiencing is what we think we deserve. So, who are you? The beloved Son of God or, a sinful, separated one? And thank God this really isn't, we think we're making a choice all the time, and it would seem that we are, but really there is no choice. We are holy. We're always as God created us, at home, changeless. So this lesson points to the absolute that's always there for us to experience, but for right? The defenses that we raise to try to have an experience of and something else.
Mhm.
And none of that is true.
Mhm.
So it's not really a choice at all. You're just picking reality or unreality, sensing a sense of unreality temporarily.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, we've talked about this before,
Hmm.
coming to the place of being able to determine where our thought originates, whether it's coming from mythical me or whether it's coming from the holy self.
Yeah.
It's really an organic process of undoing
Mm-hmm.
the ego thought system. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Layers.
layers.
Yep.
And do they ever stop?
Uh, Not yet.
Oh, yeah.
I assume at some point learning ends and, knowledge takes over. So, yes, at some point.
At some point it
Yeah.
does. Right.
Yeah.
So thanks for reading that footnote too.
Sure.
And I have a recommended blog.
Mm.
And in, we have some new family members who've come on board with YouTube just
Mm.
recently with the YouTube lessons,
Yeah.
and so they're not familiar um, with our resources that we have. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So what we might do is
Yeah.
once a month or so is just to remind everyone that in YouTube, just underneath the video is a box, and it's titled,
Description.
it's a description box, that's it, or show more
Right.
box.
Mm-hmm.
And in there is a helpful resources area.
Mm-hmm.
And in there, what is in there?
It's a list of resources and it's got links to blogs that we have previously recommended. There's a link for
Yeah.
donations. There's a link to our website with the classes that we offer. All our free offerings through the website are on there and links to find them.
Mhm.
So, and we try to refresh that list every every workbook lesson that we go through. If there's a supporting blog, Nook will mention it, and we have that link right at the top. So you don't have to go searching through a big list, but it's a really rich list of free resources for all of you. So we encourage you to take advantage of everything that's there.
Great, thank you, sis. And those who ask about the gap diagram,
Mm.
the diagram that we refer to often,
Yes.
yeah, that's in that list of recommended resources as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the other thing, and I'm going to mention it now, is that if you look in the recommended resources box from this lesson onwards, there's going to be an incredibly practical series of videos included here. There are 9 of them, and they're the communication series of
Mm.
videos. They're not done by you and I, they're done by Daniel.
Right. Right.
So Daniel's put them together, and they will be listed in the recommended resources there. So please look for them, the 9 videos. And what they do is take you through the 7 keys of authentic communication. Yeah, really, really helpful.
Right.
Very, very helpful. So we'll be referring to them often in the
Thank
next
you.
few, yeah, in the
Yeah.
next few lessons. Yeah. Because, it's one thing to do the lessons, and a lot of it at first is taken intellectually, but and which is helpful, and we have to do that. But then we need to integrate everything into our daily experience,
Mm-hmm.
especially our relationships.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So, going from mythical me or the ego to the holy self uh, involves, a process, and it's called the transfer of trust, as Jesus calls it, or the development of trust.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the backbone of that, other than the holy relationship, is learning how to implement the 7 keys.
Right.
you know,
To authentic
because
relating.
yeah, it
Yeah.
is, because what we're doing is we're going from mythical me, which is a totally inauthentic self concept, illusory self concept. We're going to the holy self. Well, we need to learn to be authentic. Yeah. And it's in that authenticity that we're able to find ourself. We're able to find the Christ and rest in that Christ, the Christ itself, the holy self. Yeah.
Right. Yep.
So please watch for those videos, look at them all, and take yourself through them. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. And the recommended blog.
Oh, yeah,
Oh dear. Not very good communicator, unfortunately. I used to be very good at communicating.
You still are.
Recommended blog for today, very powerful blog. It's called Defeating Guilt and Unworthiness Once and for All. And that link is going to be directly under this video. Yeah.
That's
Okay.
one we could all use. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, sis. Thank you.
Good. Well, thank you for joining us, beautiful family. And thank you, sis.
Thank you, everybody. We'll see you next time.